So here's my new battery, and this time I've gone for a UASA basically because I don't want to buy another battery, another original equipment battery from my local dealer again after the bad experience I had with this last one. Many people nowadays fit maintenance free gel batteries, and I've got absolutely nothing against maintenance free gel batteries. I'm sure they're very good, but I don't find anything wrong with the old traditional batteries. They work perfectly adequately for my needs, and if I was to buy a gel battery I'd probably have to change my battery chargers because they require slightly different charging setup to traditional batteries. So I'm sticking with my old-fashioned type battery. This battery cost me I think about £56. Gel batteries are usually more expensive, and the best ones I've seen, or the ones that are reckoned to be the best ones, the Odyssey batteries, I think are about £130, the best Odyssey batteries. But the choice is yours. As I say, this is what I'm sticking to, and it works perfectly adequately. So there's the battery, and with this battery you also get an acid pack to fill the battery with. So this will be battery electrolyte, which is a mixture of sulfuric acid and distilled water, which comes at a specific gravity of 1.28, and we're going to fill the battery with that in a minute. First thing I'm going to do is pull out this little plug here. This is the vent plug. Okay, very important you take that out because the battery has to have a vent on it, because as it charges it gives off gas and you can blow the side of the battery out, so if you don't have it, if it's not vented. So next thing I'm going to do is take these vent plugs out, these filler plugs out. We've also got some new battery terminal bolts in here, which we'll use later. So okay, so if you look on the side of the battery here, you can see an upper and lower level limit. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill each cell with electrolyte up to the upper level, and then we're going to leave it for a while for the electrolyte to soak into the cells, and then top up again with electrolyte. Here I am just adding new electrolyte to each cell. Just keep filling the cell up. I can just see the electrolyte is just covering the top of the cell now. So we'll stop there, move on to the next one, and I'll just repeat this process until each cell is full, and then I'll have a look at the levels. The cell will gas and bubble a bit, and the battery will also get warm. That's quite normal. It's just a chemical reaction going on inside the battery, and quite normal for the battery to get warm. So I'll just continue doing this until each cell is full. So I've now filled the battery up to the upper level, and you probably can't see it on the video, but the electrolyte is now up to the upper level on the side of the battery, and we're going to leave that for a while for it to settle down, and then come back and check it. So see you all in a while. Left it about half an hour and the levels have dropped down to about here now. I don't know if that comes out on this video, but that's where they are anyway. So I'm just going to top them up again a bit more, and then we'll move on to the next stage. Right, so I've topped off the cells with electrolyte. There was just enough in those two acid packs. Usually you have a little bit left over, but there's just enough in there, and so I put the stoppers back on the cells, but I've not screwed them down, and I'm now going to put the battery on a trickle charge. So there we go, and let that charge for a little while. Although these batteries are dry charged, they never will recover a full charge from when you put the battery electrolyte in, so it's always a good idea to put it on charge for a little while. And remember that when batteries are charging, they give off hydrogen gas, which is obviously highly explosive, so be careful with that. I once saw somebody lean over a battery with a cigarette in their mouth and it exploded in his face. So quite a hazard there. Alright, well, we'll leave that charging for a while, and then we'll put the battery into service. So a couple of useful labels you can find on batteries are, in this particular case, it's amp hour rating, and the first of those two labels we've got on here is a 28 amp hour at the 10-hour rate. So that means if we were to discharge this battery over a period of 10 hours completely discharge it, we would get 2.8 amps during that time. And then we've got a label showing it's a 30 amp hour battery over the 20-hour rate, so we would, over a period of 20 hours, we get 1.5 amps. And then the CCA label is its cold cranking amps label, and where we have a battery like this which is intended for starter motor work, the manufacturer gives this figure for cold cranking. Remember, not all batteries are designed for starter motor work, so you need to be careful of the battery you're choosing. But in this case, this particular battery it's cold cranking is equal to the current in amperes at which the voltage is 7.2 volts at minus 18 degrees centigrade after 30 seconds. So we've got 180 amps if we were to drop down of cranking amps until the voltage actually reached 7.2 at minus 18 degrees Celsius. So that's just an indication of its capacity to crank the starter motor in very cold weather, which is also useful information to have. Not all batteries have this higher capacity. It very much depends on what you're buying, and so it's very much a case of you pay for what you get, and this is quite a good quality battery. So I'm just putting some Vaseline on the battery terminals to reduce the possibility of corrosion. So I'm just covering the battery terminals first, and then I'll put some more on once the cables are on to each battery terminal and each cable. The positive battery terminal going back on first. It's the safest way to do it. I'll just put a bit more Vaseline over the bolt. Close that down. This is good stuff. I often struggle a bit with those straps. Around. Okay. Well, I think that's it.